What is intuition? Intuitiveness, intuitive knowledge. What do you think of when you think of, intuition? Well, let's look at the definition. What is the definition according to, maybe it's Webster's, I'm not sure, but let's see what it says. Intuition, the ability to understand something immediately without the need to conscious reasoning. We shall allow our intuition to guide us. Do you allow your intuition to guide you? Have you ever felt you intuitively knew something, an action to take, and you took it and everything worked out great? It's the ability to know without conscious reasoning, without thinking. Usually it just pops right into your head. Now, I'll tell you the mistake most people make, and I've done this many times myself. You start to think. You start to rationalize. Think about it. Logicalize. I'm not sure if that's a word, but we're using that today. And you think it right away, or you rationalize it away. No, I better not do that. Some of the greatest successes of all times are tapped in to their intuitive knowledge, or wisdom, if you like. That wisdom that comes from God. That's connected to everything, that's in everything. There's a part of you, and I'll call it the God part of you, that is in contact or in touch with everything that's ever happened, everything that's ever known, anything you could ever imagine that you would want to know. You can tap into that, but you will never tap into it through your intellect. Rather, you will tap into it through your intuition. And how do you tap into that? First off, you need to shut off the mind. The monkey mind, I think, as the Buddhists call it, the Hindus. The monkey mind, the committee between your ears. You need to find some peace there, like the stillness of a lake. But your mind most of the time is like a lake with a high wind blowing over it and high waves and ripples everywhere. You can only find this stillness through meditation. Now, meditation doesn't have to be some mystical, do the om or the ah. I do that, and I do other forms of meditation. But you're actually meditating when you're sitting somewhere, and all of a sudden you just catch yourself zoning out, just looking out into space. That's meditation. For that moment, your mind is calm. But these things happen just spontaneously. You can actually sit down and do the same thing yourself. Start out for 5 minutes. Just quiet your mind. Take a deep breath through your nose. Exhale. Allow it to all go out. And just think about your breath. This is a very simple form of meditation. Deep breath in. Think about the air flowing through your nostrils, filling up your lungs, and then exhaling, feel the air go out. Just focus on your breath. And you'll find as you do this for a short period of time, your mind will start to calm down. As thoughts come, allow them to pass through your mind. Don't get stuck on them. Just allow them to pass through without judgment. They are neither good nor bad, but it's the thinking that makes them so, makes them good or bad. Do you ever stop to think where these thoughts come from? Haven't you ever had a thought that just popped into your head and you're like, where in the hell did that come from? You weren't trying to think of that, but it just popped in there. Thoughts are like in the ether. They're out there in the empty space. There is no empty space, but we see it, or we believe, or we think it's empty space. These thoughts they come and they go, and depending on where your vibrational level is, or your consciousness level is, where you're resonating at, these thoughts either are drawn to you or repelled from you. So if you have some horrendous, terrible thoughts coming into your mind, you might ask yourself First off, what am I feeding my mind, and what am I thinking about during the day? Very important to be conscious of what's going through your mind. These thoughts come, but it's like the train that passes through the station. A lot of trains pass through the station, but I don't have to get on every one. Any thought is not necessarily going to harm you or make your life better unless you dwell on that thought and allow it to become a dominant part of your daily thinking. This is how things come to pass. If you're constantly thinking about what you fear, then that is dominating your kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's within you, within your mental domain. But if you're thinking about what you desire, if you think about the beautiful, the lovely, the great, the noble, the fine, then these things will be drawn into your life. Be very conscious of what you are thinking about. Be very conscious of what you are looking at, what you are listening to, because this creates your life in the manifest world. Give that some thought today. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.